All right, welcome to the State Police exhibit. My name is Sergeant Neil Case. I'm the Underwater Recovery Team Division Diving Officer. Before we get started, I'm going to introduce you to the rest of my crew. Coming up first behind the tank is my training coordinator out of Albany, Trooper Josh Cross. All right, next up those stairs is the Troop D Assistant Senior Diver, Trooper Jared Hogan. And last up the stairs is the Troop D Senior Diver, Trooper Greg Eberl. All right, I'll introduce you to the host of the show, the Troop C Senior Diver, Trooper Seth Little.
All right, hello, New York! Come on! I'm here to bring the energy to you, teach you about the dive team and what we do. But I'm going to need energy back. Can I get energy?
Yeah!
I'd like to hear it. So, while these guys are getting ready, I'm going to give you a little history lesson. The New York State Police dive team. Our first dive was logged in 1932. That makes us the oldest, and we are also the largest public safety dive team in the United States, New York, right? Hey, back then we used hard helmets. We had canvas gear. We had lead weight belt, we had lead shoes. Altogether, the gear was well over 100 pounds. But as troopers, we did back then what we always do. We volunteered. There was evidence in the water. We had some retired Navy divers. They went in the water, they found the evidence, they closed the case. Now, in 1943, there was a smart fellow by the name of Jacques Cousteau. He invented what we call the aqualung. The aqualung is commonly known as scuba. Scuba stands for self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. It took the hundreds of pounds of gear, condensed it down to about 40 pounds or so. Now, at the speed of Albany, in 1957, the New York State Police decided to adopt this new technology as its own. And in 1958, we decided to send our own divers to learn from the best. That means we sent them down to New Jersey, to the Navy Dive School. They took their lessons, they went through their classes, they brought them back. We now have our own 10-week novice dive school. It's anything but novice. In order to become a trooper, you got to go through hard things as it is. But then to volunteer to become a diver, there is a process that you go through. This last process, we started with 45 people, only 15 graduated. So chances are you won't become a diver if you go out. But these guys did. It takes a lot of grit, determination. Let's give them a hand. All right. So, are we ready to go in the water?
It looks like they're pretty close.
Yeah?
Before we get those divers in the water, let's see if the kids want to come up close to the tank there.
The grass might be a little damp still, I don't know, but that's okay. Kids, you're more than welcome to come up here, sit down right by the tank. Over the rope.
The last show we had about 30 kids up there.
Yeah. So kids, come on down. Enjoy seeing the divers up close. Come on over.
Have a seat.
Under the ropes, over the ropes, just don't trip on the ropes, that's all. Adults, if you want to as well. If you're really enthralled with dive, come on over.
All right, while the kids are getting in place, Seth, the diver's just about ready. We're going to need a countdown for that.
We're going to need a countdown. All right, look. It takes a lot to get where these guys are. That sort of makes them sort of like prima donnas a little bit, okay?
Here, come right over here.
So they need...
You guys can all have a seat right here. Go ahead and have a seat.
They need a loud countdown. All right, so can I get a loud countdown?
Yeah!
No, not yet. Not yet. But thank you. We're going to start at 3, okay? Make it easier on people. So, when I say go, we're going to start. So, go! 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
What happened?
Come on.
Sarge, we're divers, we don't hear so well.
Yeah. In other words, they want more attention, okay? They crave attention. So, when I say go, let's give them some energy, okay? All right, here we go. Go! 3, 2, 1, go! All right, there they go. Now, the first thing that you'll notice is they do not sink down to the bottom like a rock. They do not rocket up to the top like a balloon. They are doing what we call is neutral buoyancy. They're sort of floating around like they would out in space. They have fins that propel them through the water. It allows them to move easier through the water if they are neutrally buoyant. These fins are attached to their booties, which is part of their wetsuit. This wetsuit keeps them warmer in cooler temperatures, keeps them nice and comfortable. You will see on their back there are these black bladders, okay? They will bring air from the tank and put them in those bladders, and then they will become positively buoyant. This will raise them up. There's dump valves also that you can dump the air out of those bladders, in which case they will go down. They will become negatively buoyant. That tank holds 3,000 pounds of air, okay? You don't just put your mouth on top of the tank and take a breath, you'll blow your lung out. We don't want them to do that. So we have what is called a regulator on top of that tank. That regulator takes the 3,000 pounds of air and it pushes it, condenses it down to 145 psi so that the diver can then breathe the air on demand, nice and comfortably, not hurting anything. The mask. The mask provides a little layer of protection for their eyes, but because it's out from their face just a little bit, it also allows them to see things 33% larger and 25% closer. These divers, I don't know if you noticed when they were up there, they're not the biggest guys, we'll call them medium-sized troopers, but you know, they look pretty big to each other in the water, right? All right,
So they look like regular-sized troopers.
they look like regular-sized troopers underwater, sort of like Big E up there. And the one thing you will also notice is that divers are notoriously, they're very territorial in the water, sort of like little betta fish, you know? And so these guys, we'll see what happens when they swim into each other's spaces there. What goes on? Oh, I think somebody's crossing. Oh no! Little wrestling going on, jujitsus, and oh, masks came off! All right, sometimes things can happen underwater, equipment can fail. Things can come off underwater like masks. We do not panic. Panic is the #1 thing that will either hurt or kill a diver. So all they do is they just put the mask back on. When they put the mask back on, in order to get rid of that water that is in the mask, they will create just a little crack between the top of their lip and the seal. They will blow air out of their nose. That air will go up into the mask. It will push the water down. It will displace the water. And then they will put the mask on and go back to business. Other things that can happen to our equipment. I told you we are a novice dive school, but we are anything but. By the time we graduate, we have dove to depths of 132 feet. You might ask me, what is 132 feet? I'm glad you asked. All right. So, if you look at the top of this tower up here, this tower is 60 feet tall. All right, so add another tower on top of that, 12 more feet, 132 feet. When you are that deep under the water, the pressure of the water sometimes can cause equipment to act funny. All right, so when equipment acts funny, you want to make sure that you have a dive buddy close by. So we're going to have Jared Hogan. He's going to simulate his regulator is not working. He needs his buddy to come over. His buddy grabs his main air. He puts it in his mouth, making sure that he can breathe and stay calm. And then he takes his safety second air, which we carry, puts it in his mouth, and then they just ascend at a nice, safe pace to the top. And from there, they will decide, okay, can we fix the equipment and continue on with the dive, or do we just need to abort this dive, come back later, and do it? Now, other things that can happen. The water that we are in, it never looks like this, okay? You wouldn't be able to see us, they wouldn't be able to see you. The water that we are in looks much more like this, okay? It's river water, it's pond water. Wherever there is a bridge, for some reason, people throw shopping carts over it, or they throw stop signs, or they throw construction equipment, or sometimes there is trees and branches. But our gear can get caught in that stuff, and when you can't see, it happens fairly easily. We do not what is what hurts a diver? We don't panic, that's right. So what we have learned to do is just take our gear off. We have air in our mouth, that's good. So we take our gear off, if we can't unstick ourselves, and then we will just leave the gear there on the bottom, and we will go to the surface blowing bubbles out of our mouth the whole entire way up. All right, so they safely ascend to the top, and then In the novice dive school, we have races to see who can put their gear on the quickest underwater. So let's give them another countdown and see who wins this race. Go! 3, 2, 1, go! All right, here they go. We got Jared Hogan in there, and we got Josh Cross. They're both going quickly. Let's see here. Oh, Josh Cross is the winner. All right, all right.
I think Jared's getting upset.
I think Jared let him win because Josh's son is here. So,
okay.
You know, yeah, I think that's probably what it was. All right. Since Jared lost, we're going to have him practice putting his gear off and on a little bit more. What we're showing you here is we're showing you a tunnel. We do penetration dives. That means we might go into vehicles. We might go into planes. We might go into vessels that are underwater. Or we might go into a cave. Sometimes the opening of these things doesn't allow us to go in there with a full pack on our back. So what we will do is do what Jared is doing right now. He takes that pack off of his back, he sticks it in front of him, and he just follows his pack through. Now let's see how smooth he puts his pack back on the other side. Super smooth. Let's give him a hand. Good job, Jared.
Hey, Seth.
Yes, sir.
Because Josh won that last race, we should give him a chance to go through that same tunnel, this time with the scooter.
With the scooter! The scooter is my favorite underwater piece of equipment because when I grew up watching Johnny Quest. Okay? And Johnny Quest had all the cool toys. One of them was this diver propulsion vehicle, otherwise known as the scooter. Let's see if Josh Cross, do you think you'll be able to fit through there with the scooter? Come on. Oh no! Nope. No. That was an epic fail, Josh. Epic.
You should stick to just getting dressed on the
Yeah, you should not do that again. You have an idea? All right, we'll see what it is. Let's see here. See what he does. No! Okay, well, let's give him a hand.
That's why he's the training coordinator.
That is why he is the training coordinator. All right, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the bread and butter of what our team is. We are URT. That is the Underwater Recovery Team. Our motto is, if it's in there, we will find it. We have tried-true methods of doing that. We have line searches. Our symbol is the octopus, okay? The octopus has 8 legs. We have 8 teams of 8, 64 people. Then we have the division diving officer and the training coordinator. But another thing that an octopus does, if you've ever seen it on TV, when it moves over the ocean floor, it touches everything. And as a diver, we need to make sure that we do that, especially in water where we do not see. He's got a jackstay line. This jackstay line has 2 heavy weights on either side. He takes those weights and separates them, which creates tension on the line. And then we will have Jared Hogan follow that line like we would at a dive scene.
Hey, Seth, before he starts that search, you probably should throw some evidence in along with that training mask.
Good idea, Greg. You got the evidence and everything, right? Oh, okay. We know that Greg, he has the most time on team, still carries a revolver. So he put that down there as evidence. There's our training mask. This training mask is taped off, okay? You cannot see anything. We give this to the novice divers in the school. They need to be able to complete a line search with this mask on and find the evidence that we put in the pool. So we have Jared Hogan. He's got one hand on the line, one hand on the floor. He is searching, he's searching. He gets to the end of the line. He moves the weight over just a little bit. Then he turns around. As he's coming back, he's searching a new area, making sure to not miss anything. And as he's coming back, he finds, there it is, the evidence. Give him a hand. Now, we have another line search, and we're going to need a volunteer from over here. All right, well, we got Pikachu there. All right, Pikachu. What's your name? Connor. All right, Connor. What adult do you belong to? All right, if one of them could come down here. You want to choose or you want to let them? Him. All right. Excellent. We're all for firefighters. All right, so Connor, you're gonna stand over here, and the sergeant's gonna hand you a piece of rope. Hold on to that rope, all right? And your name is, sir? Ryan, thank you for your service as a firefighter. We appreciate that. All right, so, Ryan, come out over here just a little bit. A little bit more. There you go, that's good, that's good. All right, so, we arrive on scene, okay? There's water, and we have 2 divers. But only one can go in the water, and we need to communicate with each other so that we know what's going on. This is called a pendulum search. He has one end of the rope, I have the other. I get into the water. I'm swimming along. And all of a sudden, Connor sees that I'm coming up to the end. I'm not going to be able to swim anymore. He gives me 2 tugs. 1, 2. I felt that. I give him 2 tugs back. And then he knows that I know what he knows. All right? So then I turn around and I swim the other way. And I'm coming up to a rock wall. What are you going to do? 2 tugs. Give him 2 tugs back. I acknowledge. And then he lets go of the rope just a little bit so that I can search a new area. And I'm swimming, and I'm swimming, and I run into Ryan the firefighter. And we found him. Good job, Connor. He is called the line tender. Give him a hand. Thank you very much, Ryan.
All right, Connor, because you helped us out so well, you get to choose between a beach ball and a water blaster. Which one? All right.
Water blaster it is.
Good job, thank you.
All right, so we have found what we were looking for under the water. And right now we're going to be talking about this 4-wheeler in there. In the beginning I told you that we came away from hard helmets and surface air supply. Well, we have gone back. This is the surface supply air system. And what this allows us to do is communicate with the diver, provide air to the diver, and also provide just a sense of being able to tell how deep the diver is. So I'm going to have the sergeant demonstrate here.
Outside the diver, contact.
All right, so that is 250 feet of line. It allows us to communicate loud and clear.
Copy that. You can enter the water when you're ready.
All right. There he goes. Now he has a dry suit instead of a buoyancy control device. So the air is trapped in his suit. He dumps the air out of a valve in his shoulder, which gets him to the bottom. He's very happy. Let's give him a hand. You're not done. Greg, you're not done. What is your main job down there? What are you supposed to do? That's just natural. That comes natural to you. All right, so what are you going to do now? Yes, we need that ATV out of the water. So here he goes, doing the Superman over there. All right, so how are you going to lift that up? With an airbag. All right, smart idea. You know, he's one of those guys who's got a lot of muscles on top, but he's got chicken legs, so he might not be able to lift that with his strength. So, with this airbag, though, he will be able to introduce buoyancy to the ATV. He attaches the lift bag, and then he asks the surface for bubbles, meaning go ahead and send me air. He's got a line down there where bubbles will come out. Right there. He then puts that in the lift bag, and you will see the lift bag expand. And then the 4-wheeler will go up, and he gets out of the way. All right, good job, Greg. Another successful lift. He hasn't lost one yet. All right, so we got the sergeant here who's going to say a couple words to you.
So I just want to take a moment to recognize these guys for what they do. Every single time they go underwater, they're putting their lives on the line to recover drowning victims, recover evidence, to close out cases, and even during training, they're putting their lives on the line. And it's not done in water that looks like this. It's done in water where you can't see a single thing. So if you could, please all join me in thanking them for what they do every day. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you very much. Real quick before we let you go here, if you want a face as beautiful as my sergeant's there, you got to be born with it, okay? But if you want a t-shirt that looks like this, you can buy it. over at the NYST PBA tent over there. And also there is some other stuff over at the NYSP Troop Foundation. They support us as troopers. We would appreciate you if you supported them. And also we have in the tank right now one of the best posers in the New York State Police, Trooper Greg Eberl. So if you want to get your picture taken with him, come on up, get your picture taken with the diver, take pictures of your kids with the diver. Other than that, have a great day at the New York State Fair. Thank you very much.